The shrill ring pierced the quiet of the room, a jarring intrusion into the late-night stillness. The only illumination came from the flickering screen of the television, casting long, dancing shadows across the room. I reached for my phone, a mixture of annoyance and a reluctant curiosity tugging at me. The caller ID displayed the now familiar and unsettling words, "Unknown caller." My heart rate, already elevated by the unexpected interruption, quickened further. Who could it be, calling at this hour, their identity hidden behind a veil of anonymity? A relentless telemarketer, attempting to peddle their wares? A simple, innocent wrong number? A misunderstanding in the digital age? Or, a chilling thought that lingered in the shadows of my mind, something far more sinister? Something that promised unease and uncertainty? I took a deliberate, steadying breath, trying to calm the racing thoughts in my mind before swiping the answer button. The line crackled with a subtle static, a prelude to the silence that followed. There was no voice, no discernible sound, only an unnerving and complete emptiness. The void on the other end felt palpable, a heavy weight pressing down on the atmosphere. I hesitantly mumbled a cautious, "Hello?" My voice was met with the same impenetrable silence. A response that was far more unsettling than any answer could have been. After a pregnant pause, a moment that felt stretched into an eternity, I finally hung up, the abrupt action failing to completely dispel the feeling of unease. A prickle of goosebumps erupted across my skin, a physical manifestation of the growing disquiet. I tried to dismiss it, attributing the unsettling experience to the late hour, the darkness surrounding me, and the tendency of my imagination to run wild, crafting elaborate scenarios from the simplest of events. But the feeling of being watched, of being on the precipice of something unknown, a chilling sense of anticipation, lingered, refusing to be silenced. The phone rang again, a fresh wave of anxiety washing over me. The display once more showed, "Unknown caller." A sigh escaped my lips as the silence returned on the other end, mirroring the earlier experience. This time, the mounting fear was undeniable, solidifying into a knot of apprehension that tightened in the pit of my stomach, constricting my breath. It wasn't a mistake, not anymore. Someone, somewhere, was deliberately calling me, choosing to remain hidden, refusing to speak, their motivations a dark mystery. Each unanswered call felt like another brick in an invisible wall, slowly and steadily closing in, creating a prison of uncertainty. I started keeping my phone on silent, a desperate attempt to regain some semblance of control, but the missed calls continued to accumulate, each one a phantom limb of a conversation that never happened, an echo of words unspoken. Sleep became a battleground, a nightly struggle against anxious thoughts and fragmented dreams, where the fear took root and thrived. Every ring of the doorbell, every unexpected rustle outside my window, sent a jolt of pure panic through me, triggering a cascade of adrenaline, and heightening the tension that had steadily built. The days blurred into weeks, each one marked by the relentless persistence of the silent calls. I considered changing my number, severing the connection and escaping the unknown tormentor. But a perverse curiosity, a morbid fascination with the unseen, the enigmatic source of these strange communications, kept me from taking action. I felt trapped, a pawn in a game I didn't understand, playing against an unseen opponent, a phantom challenger. Then, as abruptly as they had begun, the calls stopped. Silence descended again, a deeper, heavier silence. A suffocating absence that was almost as unsettling as the calls themselves. It was as if a presence had vanished, leaving an empty void. I found myself checking my phone obsessively, with a mixture of dread and anticipation, waiting for the familiar and unwelcome appearance of "unknown caller" on the screen. The silence stretched on, a vast, empty expanse where the calls had once echoed, creating a landscape of the unknown. I began to question everything I had experienced, scrutinizing every detail, every emotion. Was it all a cruel prank, a twisted joke meant to inflict anxiety and paranoia? A bizarre coincidence? A series of random events that had coalesced into something inexplicable? Or, a truly terrifying thought, was I a target in a carefully orchestrated game? A game with unknown rules, and an uncertain, possibly devastating end? The unanswered questions, the unseen face behind the mysterious calls, continued to haunt me. A constant reminder of the chilling silence, the unsettling uncertainty, and the lingering mystery of the unknown caller.